guys, Josh here, and in the last few weeks and months, a lot of new farming games caught my attention, so I wanted to make a video to let you know about these games, and hopefully you find a few interesting ones to add to your wishlist. I'd like to start with a game I've been following for a while, but for some reason I always forget to include it in these videos, but not today. This game is called Dinkum, which apparently is an Australian word for honest, genuine, but it also looks like it could be an obsolete slang for hard work. I'm not too sure, but I'm guessing that hard work is probably the correct definition here since we're talking about a farming game. If you're Australian, let me know if this is a word you hear or say frequently. But for now, let's just keep going and talk about the game. So you probably guessed it, this game takes place in Australia, and I like to see games that are not set in the northern hemisphere, in the same types of biomes and seasons that we're used to seeing in 90% of the games. So I'm just really excited to see how Dinkum will change things up a little bit. This game has kangaroos, crocodiles, and it looks like we'll have vast and open environments that we can terraform, go around and build a little town from scratch wherever we'd like, do some fishing, bug hunting, of course big Australian bugs, ride some motorcycle in the desert, row a canoe in the rivers, and also things that are super basic for every farm in real life but that for some reason we never see in farming games, such as a lawnmower and a wheelbarrow. This game looks like it will bring so many new things to the genre, and on top of that, it looks super cute and polished. I watched a lot of clips from the game, and the audio, the animations, the particle effects, everything just looks and sounds very satisfying, and I can already tell this will be an addictive and relaxing experience. Dinkum is being developed by James Benden, a solo developer from Australia, and currently there is a Steam page, but no release date has been announced, and the last dev blog goes all the way back to February 2020. However, James posts on Twitter once in a while every few months, so I know progress is being made on the game. There's just no indication of when we'll be able to play it, but I'm sure it will all be worth the wait. The next game also takes place in a location we're not used to seeing in farming games, southern Brazil. In Gaucho and the Grasslands, you play as a Gaucho, which is, to put it very simply, similar to a cowboy, but in certain parts of South America. We're learning lots of new words today, so this game will feature a lot of elements from South Brazilian culture, and also you'll have a dog and a horse called Cusco and Pingo, who will help you explore the lands for treasures, capture wild animals for resources, and so much more. Just like in Dinkum, you'll build your farm from the ground up wherever you'd like by customizing both the interior and exterior. The world actually reminds me of another game called Dayland because you can see the curvature of the land in the same way, which makes it look like we're gonna be on a small planet, but I guess it's probably not the case, and hopefully we'll have beautiful vast lands to explore. However, for now, I have to say it does look a bit empty. I know it's still in development, and of course Grassland is in the title of the game, so we have to expect some grasslands, but I think the land would look a bit better with at least some variation in the terrain, or maybe just a few things to see in the distance. And combined with the fact that we don't see any NPCs in the trailer, I get a feeling of emptiness and loneliness from this game, and not in a good way. So I hope this is an aspect of the game that will be improved before the final release. But with that being said, I am looking forward to learning new things about South Brazilian culture. I really do hope that they take a lot of inspiration from this place and also take the opportunity to incorporate a lot of unique things and mechanics into the game. Also, I'm going to be putting a link to the Steam page in the description. I'll do the same for all the games mentioned in this video. And the release date for Gaucho and the Grassland is planned for sometime in the second quarter of 2022. And we're actually already in the second quarter of 2022, so in the next few months we should be able to play this game. While it is very likely you may have never heard about Gaucho and the Grassland before today, I'm sure you've seen tons of ads for this game on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook recently. I also made a video looking at their very successful Kickstarter campaign not too long ago. If you're on the internet and you're interested in farming games, you most likely know about Puffpals Island Skies. In this game, you play as a child on an island in the sky where Puffpals, your friendly and fluffy neighbors, are living. You'll get the chance to build friendships, accomplish quests, and play minigames with them. You'll also have your very own farm to plant a variety of crops, and if you're lucky, some will come alive, follow you around, and just be very cute. Both the exterior and interior of your farm can be customized, as well as your character, and so far it looks like this game will offer a lot of customization options. There's also some exploration aspect to the game, and you'll be able to go to these different islands with unique biomes and collect mushrooms and other items. This game does look very cute, however I have to say it looks like it's borrowing a lot from Animal Crossing New Horizons, not only for its general themes or ideas, but things like the house and character creation look extremely similar, so I hope it will find ways to differentiate itself a little bit. Fluff Nest, the company behind the project, is originally a plushie toy company, and their plushies are called Puffpals, so the game will feature a lot of their existing characters and will take place in the same universe as the plushies. I think it's interesting, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they will migrate from being a plushie toy company to being a game developer, and I really hope that there will be some depth and unique selling points to the gameplay, which we really don't know a lot about yet. So beside the fact that there are going to be very cute animals, we don't know too much about the actual gameplay, and Puffpals is scheduled for an alpha in 2023, early access in 2024, and a full release in 2025 for PC, mobile, and Nintendo Switch, so there's still plenty of time before we get to play this game. And it seems like islands in the skies are a popular theme recently because Moonstone Island borrows a similar setting where you'll get to explore over 120 different islands and discover their secrets and procedurally generated dungeons. But this game is also so much more than that. Not only will you travel between islands with a balloon, broom, or glider, you'll also be able to tame wild spirits that will fight alongside you. So the game will feature a deck-based fighting system where you'll need to strategically choose, upgrade, and optimize your different cards to win in combat. I love to see this because most farming games, if they do have a combat systems, usually they tend to go for a very simplistic action RPG style, and even in RPGs in general, deck building games are not that common or popular, so I'm just glad to see that they're not afraid to try something a little bit unique here. As expected, the game will also feature farming and crafting, and you'll be able to move your house around, build and decorate on any of the islands. With the dungeons and puzzle solving, the monster taming, and the farming, it looks like Moonstone Island will somehow manage to combine The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, and Star of Seasons all together in a charming 2D pixel art style. I'm honestly really excited for this game, and it will come out for PC, Mac, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation soonish, but there's no exact date yet. Now let's come back down to Earth for our next game. This one is not taking place in the skies, but we're still on an island. Ranchers of Kyvos lets you play as a rancher on the sunny archipelago of Elpis, where you'll find and catch wild Kyvos, which are cubic little animals, and then you'll breed them with an interesting genetic mechanic so you can mix and match different traits to get different types of Kyvos. Villagers will then come to your ranch looking to purchase Kyvos of a specific size or color, for example, and then you'll use your profit to upgrade your ranch and breed more Kyvos. I like that this game aims to put ranching over farming. Actually, it reminds me of Slime Rancher a little bit, especially with the breeding of the different Kyvos, but it's still rare to see games incorporate breeding mechanics with a bit of depth or complexity, so I'm excited for that. Other than that, the game will have most of what you would expect in a life sim game: decorating your ranch, building relationships, crafting, and growing the town. It will also put an emphasis on offering an immersive story with a main quest as well as side quests, and RPG mechanics such as character levels, stats, skill trees, equipment upgrades, and more. The story is often very simple or overlooked in life sim games, so if it's well written and captivating, this could be another great selling point for Ranchers of Kyvos. The developers, Hal Panda Game Studios, launched a Kickstarter campaign not too long ago with a goal to raise 80,000 Canadian dollars for the project, but unfortunately they just got a bit over 5,600, leading the campaign to fail. I do believe their team is qualified and the game looks fun, so it might be a matter of a lack of marketing more than anything else, but fortunately they're still continuing to work on the game, so I'll make sure to keep an eye on it and hopefully it gets released eventually. Can you guess where our next game takes us? Yes, you're right, on an island once again. This time the island is called Paleo Pines, which is also the title of the game, and it's an island where humans and dinosaurs have evolved to live in harmony. You're a descendant of a legendary flute whisperer, which I think means you have some special affinity with the dinosaurs, and you'll get to build a ranch, make friends, and learn about your ancestors' history as you explore the different biomes of the island. You'll have to take great care of your dinosaurs by building pens for them, feeding them, petting them, and just making sure they're happy. Once they trust you enough, they will help you with some of your farm work, for example by tilling the soil. The game will feature 3 different seasons, which you'll have to take into account to know which crops to grow, and so far I have to say this game looks pretty good graphically. The different seasons look distinct from one another, there's a lot of detail, everything's very cute and colorful. It's just a good looking game in my opinion. However, I may be wrong, but I have the feeling it might be aimed at a younger audience. And of course, most farming games are generally a good fit for players of all ages, but something about the art style, the colors, and the fact that all the characters look like kids just makes it feel like they're really focusing on a younger demographic, so I just hope there's enough substance for older players to enjoy the game as well. But in any case, I'll be giving it a try when I can, but no release date has been announced yet and it's planned for PC and Nintendo Switch. The next game shares the one thing in common with the 4 previous games: it takes place on an island, but beside that, this game is pretty different from the rest. Critter Crops is an adorable yet spooky adventure farming game in which you play as Sylph, a witch who was banned from her town for using magic, and who received a letter inviting her to Mother Island in her very own mansion. When you get there, you'll notice that the town has been abandoned, so you'll have to rebuild it and hope that people move in, open some shops, and make the town lively again. To do this, you'll grow various critters who you can either have follow you around and use their ability to solve some puzzles, or you can sell them for money, which will be used to invest back into the town. I actually played a bit of this game recently as there is a demo available on Steam, so I'll give you my first thoughts on it. One thing I really liked was the hand-drawn art style. It's a really pretty game with a unique look to it. One thing I liked a bit less is that the game doesn't explain itself very well. For example, in the shops, item descriptions were very bare or non-existent, which made it hard to figure out what to do next, and certain things were pretty confusing. But knowing that it's still an early build of the game, I'm confident that these can all be improved before the game releases. If you're interested in Critter Crops, I suggest you do check out the demo for yourself. We still have some time to wait. The beta is scheduled for the 3rd quarter of this year, and a full release for Steam and Nintendo Switch is planned for the end of 2023. The next game also has a free demo you can try right now. I have not tried it yet, but I will have to do that pretty soon. It's called Sprout Valley, and it's a simple and casual farming game where you play as Nico, an adorable cat who just moved to the countryside in search for a more relaxed lifestyle. This game doesn't pretend to be anything it's not and assumes its simple nature. You have 3 tools: a hoe, a watering can, and an axe. You plant crops, water them, forage some items, you sell everything, and then you buy more things to improve your island life. So we're not quite done with the islands apparently. In this game, you'll get to decorate your own island, which will be procedurally generated, but you'll also have the chance to explore other islands, which also are procedurally generated for a truly unique experience every time. And on these islands, you're gonna be able to gather more resources to bring back home. The art style is cute and colorful, and while I don't think it will revolutionize the genre in any way, Sprout Valley could be pretty fun if you're looking for a casual and completely stress-free experience. There's a Kickstarter campaign going on for this game right now, so I will leave the link in the description. Feel free to check it out. The game is currently being planned for Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android, but we might see a Switch version if the crowdfunding goes well. You can also try the demo for free in your browser, and if you do, I would love to hear your experience in the comments. Alright, let's break things up a bit with something slightly different. Ages of Cataria does not take place on an island, it's not really a farming sim. It looks a bit like a city builder, but it actually describes itself as a village story generator. In any case, I decided to put it on this list because I think it may interest you. Instead of taking the role of a specific character, you will influence the lives of all of the villagers from birth to death through choices that you pick for them in short, interactive stories. As they grow, villagers will develop their own personality, form relationships, and you'll also be able to play some minigames to increase their skills. After 7 real-time weeks, characters will pass away and transform into spirits watching over your town. As you progress through the generations, you will improve your town with new buildings, expand your fields to grow more crops, and find new adorable animals to get products from. Speaking of products, you may sometime find yourself lacking certain resources, but luckily, Ages of Cataria will let you trade with other players, which I think has the potential to create a nice community aspect to the game. And if you want, you'll also be able to trade with NPCs. The time in Ages of Cataria will be linked to real-world time, so characters will age on a span of 7 weeks, and seasons will also change in relation to real-world seasons. I think this is a great idea because it will allow us to get attached to these characters over long periods of times, and I'm sure it will feel rewarding to see our village grow little by little over the months, and I'm just wondering if this mechanic will somewhat limit the amount of time or progress you can make in a day, but overall I'm excited to see how it all turns out when the game releases in early access during the second quarter of 2023, followed by a full release the year after for Steam and Nintendo Switch. Okay, so the last game for today is called Sylph's Cloud Café, and we don't know too much about it yet. There's no trailer or Steam page. The website is a bit bare, but I think it's worth taking a look at. This game will feature elements of magic, so you can, for example, travel on a broom or walk on water, and also you'll be surrounded by these little creatures called Ionis, who will help you in accomplishing various tasks. You'll be running a cafe, so I think there will be some management aspect to the game. Oh, and also the game will let you travel to, can you guess where? Different islands. It looks like there's gonna be different biomes on these islands, and I'm assuming you'll be able to gather different resources there. Visually, the game uses a colorful, cel-shaded style. It actually reminds me quite a bit of Sunnyside, but in a more colorful way. And we also got a little glimpse at how the different seasons will look, and personally, I think this looks fantastic. Also, it looks like we're gonna be able to change outfits and customize a few things, but we're gonna be playing as this preset character called Sylph. Other than that, there's really not that much information on this game yet, but Twitter is the best place to go for updates and to see some footage, so I'll put a link to that in the description, and Sylph's Cloud Café is planned to release at the end of 2022 for both Steam and Nintendo Switch. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. I hope you are able to discover some new games through this video, and please let me know which ones you're the most excited for. Or to switch things up, is there one you're actually really not interested in? For me, I'm looking forward to Dinkum the most. It just looks like the developer is putting a lot of care and attention to detail into this game, and that it's gonna be filled with things we don't typically see in farming games, like riding a motorcycle and fighting crocodiles and so much more. As for the one I'm looking forward to the least, well, actually if a game made it on this list, I am interested in it and I'm looking forward to it, but my expectations are a bit lower for Gaucho and the Grassland, for example, mostly because the environments look very empty, but I'm still hoping for things to change before the release date, even if that date seems to be pretty soon, and I'm always down for a good surprise. So that's pretty much it for me. Leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Actually, I do have a playlist of videos about upcoming farming games, just like this one, so feel free to take a look at that playlist. And also, by the way, we do have a Discord, so if you'd like to discuss about all of these farming games with like-minded people, the link is in the description, so we are waiting for you. So I'll see you all on Discord or in the next video.